looks like Chris will miss some time. How do you juggle that? I mean, Scotty was out today, and does that mean more work for the tight ends? Just what's your thoughts about that?
As far as the receivers go, Scotty didn't practice, Chris didn't practice, and Fournette didn't practice. But, it's the next man up at that position. We've got guys. Tyler got his first action last week. He's had a couple of good weeks of practice. We got Justin back, who's had a heck of a camp. So it's not like we're empty, So we've got enough guys. Mickens, Grayson, we've got enough guys to fill the void there at wide receiver. So, I'm not concerned as much with that as I would be if we lost one more,
And the last time Chris missed, of course, Mike stepped up and had a huge game. I know you move him around or try to move him around. I guess this will give you the ability to do that. What do you make of what him and Tom have going, with in the red zone by the goal line right now?
Oh yeah, that's I could play quarterback down there with Mike. I mean, Tom loves it though. I mean, it's like having an unguardable guy, but that I don't necessarily like throwing it in from the half-yard line, but I'll take it. But it's a great rapport, and if you're going to load up the box to stop the run and leave him one-on-one, it's going to be hard to cover him.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, next is going to be Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, was looking at Sunday's game and the different looks you guys had on your front defensively. I don't even know what to call them, but you had one look that had 4 D linemen all at once. You used Levante a fair amount, almost as an outside linebacker there. I just want to ask you how much you've been able to add to the complexity of your defensive front to throw opponents off.
I think that was a huge part of getting everybody back and being able to start where we left off and everybody remember, then add more pieces, as guys show they can do certain jobs. You can put them in certain positions to get a good mismatch, especially one-on-one pass rushes. And, guys that can drop, can rush, it just adds to the complexity that you can show a quarterback.
Bruce, unrelated, I know you've worked with a lot of good quarterbacks as rookies, as young NFL quarterbacks. When you've had 2 different chances to go up against Tom Brady with a rookie quarterback, and they kind of went 2 different ways. You won with Ben in 2004, didn't fare as well in 2012. What do you remember about those games, and what do you tell a young quarterback in terms of not focusing on who they're going up against from the other quarterback?
You're so focused on the defense you're playing against. New England's defense was so good, so complicated. You couldn't worry about Tom Brady. You just hope our defense played well enough that we could stay in the game and not turn it over. Ben didn't turn it over. I think that's the game we had about 40 minutes of possession time, and that helps too. But Andrew didn't fare so well up in New England. So it's hard. But I mean, he can't worry about Tom Brady. He's been worried about Levante and Devin and Shaq and JPP.
Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
Okay, next is James Palmer.
Hey, Bruce, looking at Sunday, it seemed like Tom wanted a couple of those deep balls back. He's still a pretty good deep ball thrower. With new guys, is that one of the things that comes a little bit later, or when you look at it, what do you see out of those deep balls?
I think probably the only one was the one to Gronk, in the corner. He hung on Chris, and we were expecting Chris to pop open, and Gronk popped open and just didn't have quite enough room to get it to him. Completed it, but was obviously out of bounds. But, the ball to OJ was unbelievable throw, and Scotty's ball was perfect. And I think Scotty, he'll catch the other ball. So I think his deep ball has been great since he's been here.
And then with the quarterback you're most likely going to go against in Herbert, usually young quarterbacks struggle against the blitz, but he's done a pretty decent job. Quarterbacks pretty well. What do you see there from him being able to handle that in just a couple of
years? I mean, he's a guy that looks like he's very poised. The big thing, he's so athletic that you better make sure you've got him covered in the running game and not let that pocket get past him, or he'll take off and hurt you with a 40 or 50-yard run. Those kind of guys have hurt us in the past, so. But you've got to mix it up. You got to give them same looks but different coverages.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, next is Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach. Just looking at some of the stats, last year to this year, your red zone touchdown efficiency has gone from like 64% to like 80%. I know it's a small sample size with just 3 games, but what do you credit that change to?
Well, I think we've done a good job as a coaching staff of seeing what we did last year and our players understanding what they want to do. And then running the ball better down there also, which gets Mike some one-on-one coverages and some other people one-on-one coverages. And, I think it's just good execution, but the run in the pass mix helps.
Gotcha. I mean, has been more time been devoted? I mean, I think it was you mentioned that, Mike and Tom, they had spent a lot of time together in the red zone, just repping it out. Have you guys put more focus on the red zone this year, maybe than in past years or with this quarterback?
No, I think it's just been better execution. We practiced it as much as we ever have and put as much emphasis as we always do, because most games come down to a four points or less, and that's a touchdown versus a field goal. So, we put a ton of emphasis in practice and practiced it a lot.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we're going to have Ed Encina.
Hi, Bruce. When your players talk about playing in Todd's defense, the word that they use a lot is trust. That he's going to, they can trust any of his calls, that he's going to put them in the right way, right position. How much has that evolved both ways? You talked about being able to trust these guys and them learning the defense and being able to do a lot of different things. Is that a big part of what we're seeing now and what we saw at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think it's a double. Yeah, it goes both ways for sure. And you never want to put so much stuff in that they're thinking. And Todd does a great job of having just enough that's different, and still the base stuff is there, and the guys have good recall. So I think it's been a good collaboration between trusting each other.
And obviously, locally in the Bay Area, there's a lot of excitement about sports here with the Lightning and the Rays and everything like that. Can that resonate into your locker room? Is that something that can, your guys can see, what's going on and feel kind of the excitement locally, and that can help you guys?
I think definitely. Guys are rooting for the home teams, and I know I stayed up and watched too many hockey games, that's for sure. And a baseball game last night, luckily got over early. And you're always pulling for your home teams, and it does add excitement because it adds excitement to the city.
Thank you.
Okay, next is going to be Steve Isbitz.
Coach, Rob Gronkowski played nearly every snap Sunday. Physically, how did he come out of the game, and do you think he drew any new confidence from all that playing time?
Yeah, I think it was one of those games we had planned it, and he looks great. No wear for tear, and so he had a great practice just now. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I wouldn't see in this game it being much different.
And did the new COVID cases suffered by other teams this weekend serve as any kind of wake-up call for your team in any way?
Yeah, we talked about it before it happened, and we talked about it after it happened. And, I got to be the face mask police all the time, but I'm glad they take the job. I think our guys have made a good commitment to each other, but, you never know. It could be somebody's child that's in school, come home, and next thing you know, half your locker room's out. So we never know with this thing. So, but we're being as diligent as we possibly can.
All right, next up is going to be John Ledyard.
Bruce, the way Ali Marpet is playing right now, do you think it's pretty fair to say that he's the best guard in football?
I would say he's in the top 5. I don't know who's playing any better. I haven't seen them all play, but obviously he is playing and grading out at a very high level. And I would say he's in the top 5 for sure. Yes.
And Alex Kappa, I mean, the growth over the last 3 years now into how he's playing now, what have you been able to see from his play? And have you seen that improvement that you were looking for?
Oh, definitely. A lot of confidence, a lot of strength. He had his strength, and, he got his feet wet last year, and he won some, he lost some. He's winning a lot more this year.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to close out with a question from JP Peterson.
Hey, Coach, how much does Tom have the ability to check at the line of scrimmage, and how many has there been an example of a couple of really good checks that he's made, maybe even in the red zone as well?
Yeah, he's got the, not every play, but a majority of the plays. He can say certain things to get us to different plays, and the red zone, he's been spot on down there. And some of the things are just, no words are said, it's just eye contact.
And you got fans this week at your place. How do you think that'll affect the game at all, if any?
I hope they're loud, and we can only turn it up to 70 decibels, so they can hopefully make it a lot louder.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.